All right, it's time for another one of these subclass tier lists that we apparently do.
Woo.
So last time we did Barbarian,
We did.
and boy, howdy did we come to some results.
We did. And
Now,
uh you can continue.
so Ross, I feel inspired today.
I do too.
So what do you do when you feel inspired?
I sing.
Let's talk
I
about let's talk about bards. So
Which, by the way, I
again,
want to bring up, we did spin it and we ended up on Bard,
yeah, we know.
which is
Anyways,
funny. Uh
all right. So the general gist of bards. First off, we have out of official subclass, which is all we're gonna be looking at tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bards.
yep. Honestly, for
So
subclass abilities, this is probably going to be our shorter list because they each only have like 3 levels of mattering when it comes to subclass abilities.
well,
But
that
that's
is
just because
true.
how good base Bard is.
Yeah. So let's just get to talk about bards. So first off, bards are the general bard experience is a support caster.
Absolutely.
That is what they do.
Supporting, whether that be giving your allies a lovely inspiration, debuffing the enemies by, you know, Vicious Mockery. I believe they get access to Bane as a
Correct. Yeah.
spell. Like,
I
they
mean,
have a lot of options on the table for
but
debuffing and buffing our
of
allies.
course, the big things bards do are their Song of Rest, their bardic inspiration, and their expertise and counter charm.
I was gonna say we don't need to talk about 2014 Counter Charm. 2024 though. That's
No. But bards also get the benefit of getting all the spells they want at
Yep.
certain levels.
Magical Secrets is a very here's the thing.
So,
Magical Secrets, being as powerful as it is, we will talk about it later. It does have a pretty big impact. We'll
so with
talk
that
about
in
why later.
mind, let's talk about what we're looking for here. We are looking for things. We are looking for ways to use our inspiration to buff our allies. We are looking for ways that we can stay in the back line being supportive, and honestly, ways that we can take advantage of whatever spells we have access to. So with that in mind, why don't we just take a look at our first subclass, which is, according to this tier list, the Valor Bard.
Okay, mine's also Valor. So let's take a look at
Yes,
Valor.
yeah, they should be the same. All right,
So
Valor.
this one,
So
I believe this one was from the Player's Handbook.
player's
So
handbook.
one of the original bards.
So you gain proficiency with medium armor, shields, and martial weapons.
Which already, because keep in mind, bards, they only have light armor proficiency. So
Correct.
getting this, helping our defenses, is already a pretty solid ability. But
So
it's not all
let's
we get.
take a look at combat inspiration. At third level, when you learn to inspire others. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You learn to inspire others. A creature that has a bardic inspiration die from you can roll that die and add that die and add that number rolled to a weapon damage roll it just made. That can basically be another weapon attack. Alternatively,
It can
when
be.
an attack roll is made against the creature, it can use the reaction to roll the bardic inspiration, add the number rolled to its AC against the attack. After seeing the roll before knowing whether it hits or misses. This is huge.
This adds a good bit of versatility with your bardic. Because
Yeah.
already, which I don't think we should probably explain how regular bardic works. Simply, if an ally rolls a ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, and they
Yeah.
have a bardic, they can roll it, and depending on like what the level of the die is, it'll add that to the roll. So like
Correct.
at this level, we are D4 still, I believe.
It's never a D4, D6.
Oh, is it never D4? Oh, my bad.
Never a D4.
My bad. My bad. So
Uh,
adding a D6 to your AC, sure, it's only for one attack. There's
no,
some pretty
I
good
mean,
odds at that level that will block that attack. Pretty good.
exactly. Yeah, and it scales well. I mean, when you're adding a D12, that's amazing. Anyways, uh, sixth level, they're gonna give you extra attack.
I
You
think
know
that's
what extra
fine.
attack does. 14th level, you have mastered the arts of weaving spellcasting weapons used to do a single harvest. When you use your action to cast a bard spell, you can make a weapon attack as a bonus action.
So here's something that I find interesting about battle magic. And I'm going to jump over to another class to talk about this. Because this is a very similar ability to the Eldritch Knight Fighter.
Fun.
Well, actually, it's the exact same, except for one key difference.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you originally get it as a fighter, it's restricted to cantrips.
True enough.
Once you get to, I believe it's 18th level, is when you can do it with just regular fighter spells. And keep in mind, bards can get level 9 spells. Fighters can't.
True enough. Now, with that being said, I have some thoughts. I'm not going to put Valor 2. I think Valor will get a solid B. Here is the truth.
I think that's respectable.
Valor, for the most part, goes against what a bard should do. However, Valor gets the benefits of having an amazing, amazing early game support move. In fact, honestly, Valor is a good dip.
I can. Well, okay. Here's a scenario I do have to bring up to you if we're considering dips.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're going for specifically because you have charisma, but you don't have the strength or dexterity you need for other classes. Because if you dip in fighter at least, you're getting medium armor from that. So this is a 3-level dip.
I don't care about the medium armor. I don't care about the medium armor. That's not why I want to dip.
Well, also, I do want to bring up.
I want the feature. I want the combat inspiration.
That's true. But I do want to bring this up because I feel like we're going to have a good number of talks about this. When it comes to bard dips, how far are you willing to go? Because I think, honestly, it's hard to justify using bardic until I have the 5th level where they become a short rest. I know that's far, and that
I think,
you know what I mean.
I would say 5 levels is the last level I consider a dip.
That's fair.
But again, I just want the combat inspiration.
Combat inspiration is really good.
Yeah, it is. I am aware that it's not going to be as useful if you take a dip because again your bards won't come back on a short rest.
Right.
But I think you would have enough of them, especially early game, to handle most days if you use them wisely.
Yeah.
So I like it as a good dip. I think it is cool that it gives you some nice action economy, though I'll be honest, a bard isn't wanting for bonus actions.
Right, no.
Anyways,
I think
sorry.
Yeah, I think Valor is a solid B. I think if I were to build one, I think I would be going for more of a bow bard. I feel like that could be a fun playstyle. Because keep in mind, it's just martial weapons. So like, I could go with like a longbow or something.
Well, bow bard or not, how about we talk about a swords bard?
Ooh.
And I feel a familiar jingle ringing.
We do.
What's that?
This is literally, if there were 2 subclasses for a single class that we had to compare to each other, I feel like Valor and Swords sort of has to be that.
That wasn't the jingle I was talking about. It was the Wild Magic Sorcerer Reward is coming up jingle.
Ooh. Anyway.
If you remember what that means,
yep,
I hope.
I do, but first, we got Swords.
So bonus frenzy. When you join the College of Swords at 3rd level, you gain proficiency with medium armor and the scimitar. Why the scimitar?
I don't know.
Scimitar.
If
you are proficient with a simple or martial weapon, you can use it as a spellcasting focus for your bards. Why not swords?
Yeah.
Like, there are swords. I mean, I know that, like, swords, most people are proficient with swords, but seriously.
Okay, here's what they should have done. They should have went with the Kensei route, where you could pick what sword you want to be proficient in.
Anyways, at 3rd level, you get a fighting style.
Dueling or 2-weapon.
Dueling or 2-weapon fighting.
Which,
which are
Okay.
they're okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I will say this: being able to add the ability modifier to the damage of the second attack is actually nice.
it's nice. It's nice. But that's not the main ability that we're talking about.
Blade Flourish. At the third level, you learn to conduct impressive displays of martial prowess and speed. Whenever you take the attack action on your turn, your walking speed increases by 10 feet till the end of turn. And if a weapon attack that you make as part of this action hits a creature, you can use one of the following Blade Flourish options of your choice. You can use only one Blade Flourish option per turn. You got Defensive Flourish. You can expend one use of your Bardic Inspiration to cause weapons to do extra damage to targets you hit. The damage equals the number of rolls on the Bardic Inspiration dice. You also add the number rolled to your AC until the start of your next turn, which is huge.
That's for a bard. That's pretty big.
Yeah, but you're gonna see that a lot with this one. You can spend one use of your Bardic Inspiration to cause weapon to deal extra damage to the target you hit. Ignore. Fun reading that, and to any other creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of you. The damage equals the number you roll on the Bardic Inspiration die. Mobile Force. You can expend one use of your Bardic Inspiration to cause the damage deal to, say it with me, deal extra damage to the target you
Yep.
The damage equals the number you roll on the Bardic Inspiration die. You can also push the target up to 5 feet away from you, plus the number of feet equal to the number of you roll on the die. Which you can roll some weird numbers. You can then immediately use your action to your walking speed in an occupied space within 5 feet of the target. And then you get extra attack, and whenever you use a Blade Flourish option, you can roll a d6 and use it instead of expending a Bardic Inspiration die. So
So if we're going based off of what we were talking about before, this is a very risky bard, but I think I have to keep it out of at least the bottom tier for one simple reason. Going based off of what we were talking about with, them being more of a backliner, this is way more like a frontliner.
I mean, Ross.
And using your Bardic to support your allies is rather important. 14th level does make it to where you don't have to use your Bardics on yourself.
Correct. But that's not the criteria I was talking about.
Oh?
This is a bad bard. I want to be clear. And there's a reason I said the Wild Magic Sorcery Award, which again, if you remember when we talked about Path of the Giants last time.
Right.
It goes to subclasses that are not inherently bad. And in fact are quite good, but if you're looking for the typical bard playstyle, you should not pick them.
Right.
This is a frontline fighter who gets the benefits of bard spells.
Right.
Which isn't bad, I want to be.
Right, no, that is absolutely not bad.
But it's not a bard.
I think, because even though it's 14th level, it does still have an impact. I'm thinking either D or low C. What are you thinking?
Well, it has an impact. I will go D.
I think D is fair for our criteria.
Well, it has an impact. It doesn't change it into a bard.
Right. And
I think the fact that honestly, no, I actually can't justify D. I'm giving it more thought. I can't justify D.
Why? Because maybe you can convince me of why it can't be D.
It does nothing a bard needs to do. None of the stuff a bard subclass needs to be does this do.
Top of F. If we somehow have any other bards that go in F, I think swords might be top of F.
Maybe, but like I said, yeah, it doesn't do anything that it needs.
I'm fine with F.
Anyways,
F is for fine.
Anyways, Ross,
we're gonna have to whisper for the rest of the video.
No, Jack, we're gonna stop that now.
We got the College of Whispers, which is a interesting bard.
Alright, when you join the College of Whispers at 3rd level, you gain the ability to make your weapon attacks magically toxic to a creature's mind. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend one use of your Bardic Inspiration to deal additional 2d6 psychic damage to the target. You can only do so once per round on your turn.
Yep.
But it does increase as you level up. This is basically Bardic Sneak Attack.
Correct.
At 3rd level, you learn to infuse innocent-seeming words with insidious magic that can inspire terror. If you speak to a human alone for at least 1 minute, you can attempt to seep paranoia and fear into its mind. At the end of the conversation, the target must wisdom save against your spell save, or be frightened of you or another creature of your choice. The target is frightened in this way for 1 hour until it is attacked or damaged, or until it witnesses its allies being attacked or damaged. If the target sees on its save the target, no hint that you tried to frighten it. Once you use this feature, you
So I'm just gonna say this
can.
already off the back. I don't like Words of Terror.
It's a god awful ability.
Here's the thing.
Like, I am
It's
trying to imagine a scenario where I'd use this.
it's not even the fact that it's a bad ability, which it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never liked the abilities, and I'm gonna call out Battle Master, Mastermind. I think it's Monster Slayer Ranger.
The ones that, like, you sit around with a guy for a minute.
Yes,
I
here's the thing.
don't
I get the idea of it. The idea
I
is fine. I just don't think they're implemented well at all.
I don't dislike them by their nature, but this one, the issue with this one is I am trying to imagine what situation would I want to inflict on fear in someone that I can stand next to them for a minute
I will
and
say
talk to them.
the only reason that I would be see using this ability.
Also,
Wait,
I want to
oh,
note something about the wording. If you speak to a humanoid alone for at least 1 minute.
that's also true. Which that
Yeah,
rarely happens in
I
D&D.
I want to say, if you can find a scenario where this ability is useful, please let me know.
Yeah, comment it. We want your stories. But yeah,
No,
no.
I was asking
I
you, Ross.
I yeah, no. The only reason why I would see using this ability, and what's funny,
Mm-hmm.
I would use this as a boss. Like to intimidate like a minion or something. Like maybe have it be a cutscene with like through like a scrying eye or something. You know what I
I mean,
mean?
I get the idea, but even then, not
Right,
really.
right. No, and here's the thing: I can't do that because this is meant to be a player ability.
Anyways, let's take a look at
Yeah,
Mantle of Whispers.
Mantle of Whispers.
At 6th level, you gain the ability to adopt the humanoid persona. When a humanoid dies within 30 feet of you, you can magically capture its shadow using your reaction. You retain this shadow until you use it or finish a long rest. You can use the shadow as an action. When you do so, it vanishes, magically transforming into a disguise and appears on you. You now look like the dead person, but healthy and alive. This disguise lasts for an hour until you end it as a bonus action. While you're in the disguise, you gain access to all the information the humanoid would freely share with a casual acquaintance. Such information includes general details on its background and personal life, but doesn't include secrets. The information is enough that you can pass yourself off as the person by drawing on its memories. Another creature can see through this disguise with a wisdom insight check, and it's by your charisma deception check. You gain a +5 bonus to your check. Once you capture a shadow with this feature, you can't capture the one until you finish a short or long rest. In the right campaign, I love this idea.
Yeah, the right campaign. This is an amazing feature. I don't think you're gonna get that scenario that often. But
Let's take a look at.
also, I want to bring up two things and why that
Mhm,
brings this ability down further.
mhm,
And unless I'm wrong, I could be mistaken.
mhm.
Bards have disguised self.
This is better.
It's better because you also get extra information about that
No,
original
no,
target.
this is a better disguise. Disguise self is inherently valuable to the caster's memory, and a DM will draw on that. This is not.
But I also want to bring up
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like the feat would also help this ability out as well. Actor is already a pretty tempting choice for a bard.
Yeah, no, again, but I don't think Actor does what this does, what Mantle of Whispers does.
No, like it would stack with it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we have
So
Shadow Lore.
at 14th level, you gain the ability to weave the dark magic into your words and tap into a creature's deepest fear. As an adjunct, you imagine that you can whisper a phrase that only one creature of your choice within 30 feet of you can hear. The target must make wisdom saving against your spell save DC. I'm not using it doesn't share a language with you. If the target fails its save, it is charmed by you for the next 8 hours or until you or your allies attack or damage it. It interprets the whisper's description of its most mortifying secret. While you gain no knowledge of this secret, the target is convinced you know it. While charmed in this way, the creature obeys your command for fear that you will reveal its secret. It won't risk its life for you or fight for you unless it was already inclined to do so. It grants you favors and gifts it would offer to a close friend. When the effect ends, the creature has no understanding of why it held you in such fear. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest.
again,
This
I
ability is really good.
it's really good, but also I would say I would consider it a little campaign dependent. Also,
No, honestly, I think most campaigns you can get away with doing some fun stuff with this.
okay.
Yeah,
So I
no,
guess
the only issue with this ability is you're not getting it till 14th level.
that's the thing. Like it's a good ability, but I don't think we can rate it that high because of how good the 14th level ability is.
I
And
think I think I'm gonna have to put this at D. I think, unfortunately, while it is an absolutely, I'm gonna say a secondary recipient in the same video of the Wild Magic Sorcerer Award for a class that I think is fun to play, but not really the spirit of a bard. It has a bit more going for it than Swords does.
I can agree to that.
But the issue is it doesn't really get its one bardic feature until 14th level.
Yeah, and Psychic Blades is fine. I wish
It's
I, w-
fine, but it's not a bardic
I
feature.
wish I wish what it did. I wish it just did. You could do this extra damage not just from weapon attacks, because bards don't get that many weapon proficiencies.
I'm gonna run to the washroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I'll do a little cut here.
Speaking of Spirit of the Bard,
Oh, that's a pretty good segue to one of the cooler bards, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, I think it's cool.
so honestly, when it comes to support, 3rd level, you get guidance. And it has a range of 60 feet.
Yeah, I mean, guidance. I would argue is one of the best cantrips in D
And
and
hey,
D
it's a
2014,
support cantrip. That's what we want.
and it's a support cantrip, which is great.
Uh, at 3rd level, you employ tools that aid you in channeling spirits, be they historical figures or fictional archetypes. You can use the following objects as spellcasting focuses for your bard spells: a candle, a crystal ball, a skull, a Ouija board, or a Taroka deck. I love using a deck of cards.
I would love to play a bard that uses a deck of cards.
Starting at 6th level, when you cast a bard spell that deals damage or restores hit points through the spiritual focus, roll a d6 and you gain a bonus to one damage or healing roll of the spell equal to the number rolled.
But you don't get that until 6th level. It's just they grouped it up in one ability, which is smart.
Yeah.
And I think I know it's not. We're not done with level 3. I think both these features are pretty good for first level,
Oh, absolutely.
or
I
not
mean,
first, third level. Third level.
it's flavor. It's just
Yeah,
flavor,
a lot.
really.
A lot of it's more flavor, but I outright this might be the most flavor of bards.
At 3rd level, you reach out to the spirits who tell their tales through you. While you are holding your spiritual focus, you can use a bonus action to spend one use of your bardic inspiration and roll on the spirit tales table. Let's be real. This is basically the wild magic bard edition,
Yep.
but it does have some cool fun stuff. Die to determine the tale the spirit directs you to tell. You retain the tale in mind until you bestow the tale's effect, or you finish a short or long rest. Use an action to trick a creature. You can see within 30 feet of you. It can be you. Be the target of the tale's effect. Once you do so, you can't bestow the tale's effect until you roll it again. You can retain only one of these tales in mind at a time, and rolling on the spirit tales table immediately ends the effect of the previous tale. If the tale requires a saving throw, it's your spell save because you're a bard. You
Which
have that.
before we go over the table, I just want to say
Mm-hmm.
this is some really good flavor. I love this so much.
So shall we just go?
Yeah, let's see. We got so keep in mind we got it. Keep in mind we're gonna go over the first 6 because that's when we first unlock. Then
No,
you
we're
have to
going
wait
through
until.
all of them.
Well, yeah, we're gonna go through all of them.
But yeah,
You're not gonna have all 12 at once.
correct.
That's
That being
I should have worded that better.
our first one is the tale of the clever animal. So for 10 minutes, whenever Billy the Barbarian
Hi,
makes an
I'm Billy.
intelligence, wisdom, or a charisma check, the target can roll an extra die immediately after rolling the d20 and add the extra die's number to the check. The extra die is the same type as your bardic die.
Already,
So
this would be amazing in a conversation or exploring type,
I mean,
especially
yeah,
if you put it on yourself. Didn't it say you're a valid target for all of these?
honestly, you can, yes, but here's what I think. It's basically like a way to put a inspiration for a moment you won't be there.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind it does last for 10 minutes, but still,
True, yeah.
still, I think
But then
for the
there's
first roll, pretty good.
the renowned duelist. You make a melee spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes force damage equal to 2 rolls of your bardic inspiration die plus your charisma modifier. That's a lot of
That's
damage.
a pretty at this level for level 3.
Mm-hmm.
2d6 plus charisma. That's for
I
not using a spell slot. That's pretty good.
I will say, as a factor of factors, I love that the target can be yourself.
I think it's more referring to
I
you can
yes,
use it.
yeah.
I get where you're going at it, but
Hey, I mean, why not? Why does it matter that you can hit yourself? Anyways, Tale of the Beloved Friends. The target, another creature of its choice it can see within 5 feet of it, gains temporary hit points equal to a roll of your bardic die plus your charisma modifier.
honestly, again, pretty. That's keep in mind you're getting the target that you put this on and another creature. So again, that's basically 2d6 of your bardic die plus double your charisma modifier for temp HP for 2 targets.
The target can immediately use its reaction to teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space it can see. When the target teleports, it can choose a number of creatures it can see within 30 feet of it, up to your charisma modifier, to immediately use the same reaction.
That's a pretty good one in a bad scenario.
Bad, honestly, any scenario. Anyways,
Yeah.
heck, just get Billy the Barb right next to Fluffy the Fluffster. He's he
Oh,
is a Trask. Call Fluffy the Fluffster. The party tried to tame it.
oh.
Horrible
Also,
idea.
I just thought about something. I was
What?
rereading the wording. You know what you could use this on?
What?
Getting an because it just says creatures, not just
Yeah.
allies. So we could just
Yeah.
we can have our barbarian teleport. Let's say the enemy wants to grab
No,
a specific crystal.
no, you cannot.
Why couldn't you?
Uh, when the target teleports, it can choose a number of creatures it can see within 30 feet of it up to your charisma modifier to immediately use the same reaction. You can teleport to the exact same space of your choice if you can choose where you teleport.
Oh, I assumed that it was teleporting that person with them. Like it's like
No,
everyone is teleport. Okay, okay, my
no, no. You don't use this on the bad guy.
bad. I tried.
Yeah, you tried, and then he teleported right where he was and hit you in the face.
Ow. Anyway, Tale of the Avenger.
Da, 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 da. For 1 minute, any creature that hits the target with a melee attack takes force damage equal to a roll of your bardic inspiration die. Honestly, that can get really good and really heavy.
That could be pretty good, especially again
Like, I think
with.
when it's a D6, it's not crazy, but once it gets to a D12,
I think D6s are still pretty impactful for every enemy that attacks a target for a minute. Imagine you put this on like a barbarian, the one in the front line, the enemies are trying to put down.
oh, absolutely.
And then Tales of the Traveler.
The target gains temporary hit points equal to a roll of your bardic dice. We saw that before, plus your bar level. It has these hit points. Its walking speed increases by 10 feet, and it gains a plus 10 bonus to its AC.
1 + 1. That's not a 10, please.
Sorry, plus 1 bonus to its AC.
Which, so keep in mind, this is what is meant to be the quote unquote capstone of the table when you first get it. And honestly, pretty good.
But we just leveled up. Our bardics are D8s now.
Yep. And I believe
we
we
got
also get them on short rest now, which is even more
True.
fun.
We got Tail of the Beguiler. The target must succeed on a whiz save or take psychic damage equal to 2 rolls of your bardic dice, and they are incapacitated until the end of its next turn.
This is a no spell slot using
Psychic
lance,
Lance.
which holy shit, that
Well,
alone is powerful.
anyways, Tail of the Phantom.
Dun, 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 dun. Anyway,
The target becomes invisible until the end of its next turn or until it hits a creature with an attack. If it hits a creature with an attack during this invisibility, the creature it hits takes necrotic damage equal to a roll of your bardic dice, and is frightened until the target until the end of the frightened creature's next turn.
Again, another capstone point. This is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't meant for more damage, but
I
this
mean,
is a
it
no.
is.
This is a no save frighten.
I think I'd prefer the 7, though, honestly.
I prefer the 7, but I still think Tail of the Phantom is pretty good.
But we leveled up again.
Yep. Woohoo.
Tail of the Brute. Each creature the target's choice that can see within 30 feet of it must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes thunder damage equal to 3 rolls of your bardic die and are knocked prone. A creature succeeds takes half damage and isn't knocked prone.
This one's fine. I'm not crazy on it.
Tail of the Dragon.
Okay.
Tail of the Dragon. The target spews fire from the mouth in a 30-foot point. Each creature in that area must make a dex save, taking fire damage equal to 4 rolls of your bardic inspiration die on a failed save, or half as much on a successful save.
Okay, I will say, both 9 and 10 aren't super impressive to me for the simple.
But they're okay.
Yeah, they're okay. And I also gotta keep in mind, we're a bard. These are coming back on a short rest, theoretically.
Yeah. Yep.
Tail of the Angel.
The target regains hit points equal to 2 rolls of your bardic die, plus your charisma modifier, and you end 1 condition from the following list of the target. Not a bad list.
Not a bad. For those that aren't
Blinded,
looking at the
deafened,
screen, yeah.
paralyzed, petrified, or poisoned.
Which honestly, that's pretty good. Now it's
All right.
Tail of the
Long
Mind
ago,
Binder.
4 nations lived in. Nope, Ross. Nope.
Bender.
Long ago, the 4 nations
Oh.
lived in harmony. Only the Avatar could bend minds.
Let's see what
You
we got.
invoked an incomprehensible fable from an otherworldly being. The target succeeds on an int save, takes psychic damage equal to 3 rolls of your bard dice, and are stunned until the end of its next turn. Which, by the way, being stunned is worse than being incapacitated.
It is. It is.
A little known detail that people sometimes forget: incapacitated creatures can still move, which is pretty awful when you incapacitate a fire elemental.
I was gonna say as well that I always think of incapacitating them as knocking them out, mainly because of other games. So that's always confused me a little bit.
It is worth noting that you also have advantage on attacks to hit stunned creatures.
Yep, and they basically just lose their action.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Anyways,
so that's all level 3.
Yeah, let's take a look at level 6.
Yeah, we'll swing
Spirit
back over there in a bit.
At 6, Spirit provides you with insight. You can conduct an hour-long ritual, which can be done during a short long rest. Using the spirit focus, you can conduct the ritual with a number of willing creatures equal to the rituals. At the end of the ritual, you can temporarily learn 1 spell of your choice from any class.
Specifically of the divination or necromancy spell list. Or list of spells.
Let me have it. The spell you choose must be of a level equal to the number of creatures that conduct the ritual or less. The spell must be of a level you can cast, and it must be in the school of divination or necromancy. The chosen spell counts as a bard spell for you, but blah, 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 blah. Once you perform the ritual, you can't do so until you start a long rest, and you know the chosen spell until you start a long rest.
This...
I mean, it is cool that you can just kind of switch out and get some...
Yeah, no, this is a single magical secret that has to be used on a specific list, but for the list that it gives, I think I'm pretty alright. There's some interesting stuff you can get.
At 14 level, you now have the ability to nudge spirits of tales from beyond towards certain tales. Whenever you roll the spirit dice, you can roll the die and choose which of the 2 effects to bestow. If you roll the same number on both dice, you can ignore the number and choose any effect on the table.
Yep.
So, like its cousin, the Barbarian Wild Magic class, subclass, they're all positive. They're all stuff you want to have happen.
Yeah, they are all positive. There are more options by 4.
Yeah.
And, this actually does what I wish the Barbarian did as well, where the list got bigger as you leveled up.
Absolutely.
I like that.
The big thing I'm going to give this, and you can quote me on it and call me Kevin. The big thing I like about this is most of these are all focused on support. Don't get me wrong, some of them are damage dealers, but most of these are supports. You're stunning enemies, you're incapacitating them, you're healing allies, you're buffing allies, you're giving them more options.
Yeah, no, this is... if we're talking support, this might be the best supporting one that we've talked so far.
I am actually willing either A or S. I am leaning S, but that's because I don't know what else we have coming.
I'm willing to push it in S for all the great support that it gets. And the fact that I know this counts as being under the support umbrella. Giving guidance to a bard is really. I mean,
Is nice.
guidance. If we didn't have a character with guidance in a party, I would be ever so tempted to get guidance as as one of my magical secrets or from a feat. Probably
Fair
a feat,
enough.
but I think that pushes it for S tier. We can
Anyway,
move it around later if we want to.
it's time to talk about the lore.
You saying that is funny. Anyway.
The lore bar. Thanks for watching.
Oh shit! Poster just fell on me. Anyway.
All right. You get just 3 skills. Your choice.
Hey, bards love skills. Not as
Yeah,
much as the rogue,
whatever's-
but hey,
Whatever
still,
skill you
more,
want.
more skills.
Whatever skill you want. Which honestly, if you're a rogue, this is a good dip already.
Oh, already, yeah, absolutely.
Because once you get, because if you can get yourself proficient in every skill in the game, which you can't, I don't think. Maybe.
There's a way to get a lot of them. I don't know if there's a way to get all of them.
Again, the goal will be get proficient in every skill in the game, still hit level 11 in rogue.
Right.
That I don't know if you can do. Because you got to remember one important thing.
We could do a theory crafting video talking about that at some point.
It'd be interesting. Anyways,
That'd be a fun one to do. But yeah, no. I mean, what this is basically giving us is this is basically giving us a free.
Mm-hmm.
Is it skilled or skilled expert that gives you 3 skill proficiencies?
I don't know. But anyway.
One of those 2 gives you 3, so hey, you get this for free.
We haven't gotten to the best ability yet. We're not going to, but we haven't gotten to it yet.
Cutting
Third
words.
level. You learn how to use your wit to distract, confuse, otherwise sap the confidence. When a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you makes an attack roll, ability check, or damage roll, you can use your reaction to expend one of your uses of Bardic, rolling the die, and subtracting the number rolled from the creature's roll. You can choose it after the creature makes a roll, before the DM determines whether the attack roll or ability check succeeds or fails, or before the creature deals its damage. The creature is immune if it can't hear you, or it's immune to being charmed for some reason.
This ability
is amazing.
Is already really good.
Like, it's just amazing. And again, it's support. Oh! Hey, Terry the wizard. The tiefling wizard. We talked about you before last time, remember?
Yeah. What's up?
What? You're being attacked, but don't worry. I got these scissors here. Cut. He missed.
So, I will say, I could have sworn this actually affected saving throws as well, not damage rolls.
It does
which is
not.
Interesting.
But there are ways to deal with saving throws, so I'm not too worried.
Right.
And if you're looking for some of those ways, why not pick up some extra spells with your additional magic secrets that you get before you get the original magical secrets?
This is why I wanted to talk about how impactful magical secrets is. Because of this subclass in particular, giving you them early.
Yeah. It is basically tells you that you can make your bard do anything.
And trust me when I say this, for those that don't know D&D and just like watching my videos, there's a lot.
But anyways, at 14th level, you can basically keep yourself bardic. You expend to using your bardic, roll a bardic rating die, and add the number rolled to your ability check. You can choose to do so after you roll the die or before the game tells you whether you succeed or fail.
Honestly, the only reason why I'm not a big fan of this capstone, even though it's good, I'll give it that it's good.
It doesn't help your party.
Well, it is and it isn't. Because you're giving it to an ally to where it then gives it to yourself. However, I do want to bring up, unless you are in combat,
Mm-hmm.
how often are there going to be two ability checks that are needed for a specific scenario? Like,
What
let's
are
say,
you talking about, Ross?
well, you could give an ally a bardic,
That's
which
not how this ability works. You're thinking of a different bard ability that we haven't gotten to yet.
wait, when you, oh, I thought this was saying you had to expend a bardic to then you be able to use a bardic on yours. Okay. Like I thought you had to give it to a creature. Like
No,
I thought like do it. Okay,
that's
my bad.
another bard subclass that gets that.
Okay, my bad. So you just use it on yourself, which
Yeah,
yeah,
it's fine. It's not crazy. It doesn't help. Giving my general thoughts about Loreboard, I honestly thought I was gonna rate it higher. Here's the thing. Here is my ultimate issue with it, and this isn't really an issue. It's A. It is A. Cutting words is a great ability. The Everything else is also great. The
yeah.
fact is that the major ability that this really gives you is magical secrets, which basically is do your own homework.
That's what I was gonna say. Like
Like,
for supporting your
like
team, it doesn't do a crazy amount.
it does a decent amount. I'm gonna put it A.
It,
I'm gonna
yeah,
put it
I
A.
agree with you. I agree with you today. Like here's the thing. Even if it did no support, just getting that magical secrets would bump it up automatically to a C. Because again,
Yeah,
with how many spells there are in the game, just getting two from any list is super impactful.
absolutely. But it also means that you're really going to have to figure out yourself how you want to do it.
Right.
Anyways, that's enough for this. I think honestly, we need something more
Elegant, would you say?
eloquent. Honestly, is what I'd say.
Ooh.
Those are two different concepts. You know that, right?
Are they?
Yes, they are.
Either way, we're talking about the eloquence part. uh,
Uh, Starting at third level, you are a master at saying the right thing at the right time. When you make a charisma persuasion or charisma check, you can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10 immediately.
already. That is a bard. Actually, do what's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue this bard.
Mm-hmm.
First off, persuasion checks. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a success. A reasonable amount of time, but also
You're
I
a
would
master liar.
I would argue that if you are wanting to make a disguise self or like a master of disguise bard, I would argue this one does better than Whispers. Automatically getting a 9 or a 10 on a
Yep.
deception check,
Yep.
that's pretty damn good.
But here's the thing. Here's what I will say, and this is going to be in defense of Whispers because I'm going to have to defend Whispers a lot. It seems. What this does not cover for is what Whispers does.
That is true.
Like,
That
yes,
is
yes,
absolutely true.
you are a masterful liar, but you can be the greatest liar in the world. But I'm not going to believe that you're the late Kevin from accounting if you don't have Kevin's favorite third button on your suit.
I thought you were saying you the way how you stopped your sentence for half a second. You'll hear it in the VOD. Anyway,
Anyways, yeah. Anyways, though, we got some more fun stuff with unsettling work. Uh, as a bonus action, spend a bardic, pick a creature. The creature must subject the number rolled from the next saving throw it makes before the start of your next turn.
this is the one I
Do
was
you know?
thinking of.
Do you know what I didn't say in any of that? Creature must make a save.
Yep, this is just a free minus potentially a whole -6 to any save.
12 later on.
Yeah, 12, which that's fucking insane.
Now, Ross, do you know what I hate?
What
Here,
do you
let
hate?
let me give you my inspiration dice here, Ross.
Okay.
You got it.
I
You got it.
I am your
Mm-hmm.
I am your paladin.
All
I
right.
am your kobold paladin.
All right. Yeah, actually, you're quite strong, aren't you? And what's that other guy that's carrying the guy on the top? Hard reference because I have decided something I want to do later on, Ross. But we'll talk about that later. Anyways, yeah. So have this inspiration, okay?
Okay, I got it.
Good. Now you see that guy right in front of you? I think he needs a divine smite.
Oh yes! Ah!
Unfortunately, that misses.
Oh,
But what did I give you?
inspiration.
Maybe use it.
Uh, what level would it be at this point?
Doesn't matter. This is a scenario. Keep going.
Uh,
Say you used it.
I used it. It's an 8.
Even with that, it missed.
Damn it.
But I have some good news for you because we have unfailing inspiration. Your inspiring words are so powerful that others feel driven to succeed. When a creature adds one of your bardic inspiration dice to its ability checks, attack rolls, or saving throws, and the roll fails, you can keep the die
I'm attacking again. Ah!
with your extra attack, of course.
But yeah, no, this is
This is really nice.
honestly,
This is nice
honestly, they could have just stopped at that for level 6, and that's already incredible.
but
There's another ability.
you can make your speech intelligible to any creature. As an action, choose one or more creatures within 60 feet of you. The chosen creatures can magically understand you regardless of the language it speaks for 1 hour. I will say it does not hold the candle to the monk's version of this that all monks just get.
Well, now here's my question about this ability.
Mm-hmm.
The way how it's worded, would you rule that this technically works on creatures that don't have a language to begin with at all, like animals?
With the way it's worded, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Though keep in mind, the bear that is standing in front of you is not necessarily inclined to agree with you when you say don't eat him.
Right? Yeah.
fact,
No.
He doesn't. That's going to be a natural 20 to hit.
Ah. I mean, I think this can create a good bunch of roleplay moments because that creature can speak your language, there's a lot more communication you could do. Like,
Creature can't speak your language. You are understandable to any creature. Not any creature is understandable to you.
well, still,
Yes,
they're
it
able to
means
understand you, so there
direct-
could be a lot more communication for roleplay. I like this as a roleplay ability, honestly.
honestly, it's useful. It's a genuinely useful ability.
Yeah, no. Heck, it'd be useful in the main campaign because I don't believe any of us speak Elvish. Actually, one of us speaks Elvish.
Carrying on,
Yeah. Infectious inspiration.
when you successfully inspire someone, the power of your eloquence now when a creature within 6 feet of you adds one of your. This is the ability we're thinking of.
Was it this one?
When a creature you within 60 feet of you adds one of your bardic inspiration dice to its ability check, stock rolls and the roll succeeds, you can use your reaction to encourage a different creature other than yourself, like here it is, giving it an bardic inspiration die without spending any of your bardic inspiration uses. This is basically extra bardic because, as a reminder, with the way your ability works, if they don't use it, if it don't work, they don't lose it.
Right. Yeah. No. This.
So this basically means that you double your well, not double. You add. Actually, how much is it? Honestly, I think you do basically double them.
You practically you double
Yeah.
them. What you do,
Anyways,
guys? Yeah. Either
this
way,
is S.
I mean, yeah. It's
I think
hard
it's
to argue.
Better than spirits.
I agree. Here's the thing. I can argue all day that guidance makes spirits better than eloquence. I feel like eloquence is just way too versatile
I mean, you just
at supporting.
keep using your bardic,
Right.
and
And
great
it's better.
Yeah, but
'Cause
with that in mind,
that
let's create some stuff.
all right, we're creating a homebrew bar.
No, not tonight.
Not tonight. College
Whenever
of
you give
Creation.
motive potential. You give a creature bardic inspiration. You create a tiny motive potential which orbits the motive's handle and allows another bardic. The mote looks like when the creature uses the bardic inspiration die, the mote provides a judgment based on whether the die benefits an ability check or a tackle or a saving throw. If they make an ability check, they add it to an ability check. The creature can roll the bardic inspiration die and choose which roll to use.
So
So
a
basically-
reroll of a bardic, which
Bardic advantage.
which is cool. That's handy.
Immediately after the creature rolls the Bardic to attack, the emote suddenly showers the target. Each creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet must succeed on a con saving throw against your spell save DC or take thunder damage equal to the number rolled on the Bardic Inspiration die.
This is fine.
Or a saving throw, causing the creature to get temporary hit points. Honestly, it's great. It's great because,
Yeah.
you know what this is? It's like, I'm going to want to use my Bardics.
Yeah, it adds a lot more. Not versatility. That's not the right word.
And you know what? Why don't you just create any non-magic choice of any non-magic choice item of what is 20 times 3?
20 times 3 is 60.
Worth less than 60 gold, which honestly is pretty expensive. Once you create an item, you can't do so until you can only have one item created by the time you use this action. The size of the item you create with feature increases by size. Honestly, this feature is like, it's interesting.
What's funny, someone pointed this out in a short.
Uh-huh.
I think it's specifically a mule because it counts in. Technically, it should be an animal, but there's like some
Wait,
sort
what
of.
are you talking about?
Hold on, there's an equipment thing. Someone made an equipment video. Pack tactics. He made a short a while back where you can actually create a. I think it's like a pack mule, because it doesn't count as an animal in this context. It counts as equipment or something like that. I'll have to double check the video.
I think that's completely not intentional. That's like wrong. Like I think even
Right, that's specifically raw.
No, it's wrong. I don't think that's true. I'm gonna look at something here.
I can show you the video later.
Not the video.
Oh,
I want the source video. Pack Mule 5e.
I think it's a pack mule. I could be saying the wrong creature.
It's a creature.
I might be thinking of the wrong thing. There's some sort of like animal thing you could do, but I'm trying to remember what it was.
The only thing I'm seeing Pack Mule is a homebrew thing.
You know what? Continue reading the abilities. I'm going to check something.
I mean, there's no sense in me continuing if you're not here, Ross.
Oh no, I'm here. Like
I say check it after the video, Ross.
Okay.
By 6th level, as an action, you can animate one large or smaller non-magical item within 30 feet of you that isn't being worn or carried. It uses the dancing item stat block, which uses your proficiency bonus. The item is friendly to you and your companions in a basic command. It lives for an hour until it reduces your hit points or until you die. It shares your initiative, takes turn immediately after yours. It can move and uses reaction on its own, but the only action it takes on its turn is the dodge action. Unless you take a bonus action on your turn to command and take another action. That action can be one on its stat block or some other action. If you are incapacitated, the item can take any action of its choice, not just dodge. When you use your Bardic Inspiration feature, you command the item as part of the same bonus action you use for Bardic. Once you animate an item with this feature, you can't do so until you finish a long rest unless you spend spell slot 3rd level. And here's the stat block. It's fine. It's cool. You get a nice companion. You get a friend, basically.
Yeah, you get a friend, and it's basically a spiritual weapon.
No. This is an actual summon.
Yeah, and you use your bonus action to allow it to attack.
If that's what you think makes spiritual weapon fun special, then Bigby's hand is basically spiritual weapon.
Doesn't that cost your action?
Nope, it's bonus action.
Oh, is it? I haven't used Bigby's hand in a long time.
Yeah, no. The thing that makes spiritual weapon special is that it's not a creature and is incorporeal.
You know what? That's a good point. That is a very good point.
At 14th level, when you use your performance creation, you can rate mode when it wants the number of items equals blah blah blah. If you create the item that would exceed the number you choose, which is blah blah blah. Only one of these items can be. I mean, here is the thing. The subclass is fine. I'm gonna give it a solid. I'm gonna give it a C. I want to rate it higher because I like some of the flavor, but I'm gonna be honest. To use it the most effectively, it's only really helpful early game, and also requires you to have like extensive knowledge of the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
So
I think C is fine.
It's going to take a very skilled player to use this properly. And I'm not saying I'm not going to question whether I am or I'm not that good of a player.
Right. I think in our group as a whole, I think we're maybe a pinch below average.
Anyway, shall we glamour the glamour the glamour?
Yes, we shall glamour the glamour the glamour. Now we actually had this bard in
We
our
we have
Prince of the
had this.
Apocalypse playthrough.
Correct. Anyways, when you join it, you get the ability to wield the song magic that gives you as a bonus action. Oh wait, no. Yep, that's correct.
Yeah,
As a bonus action, each you can choose a number of creatures you can see and who can see you within 60 feet of it, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier. Each of them gain 5 temporary hit points, and when a creature gains these temporary hit points, they can immediately use its reaction move up to its speed without provoking attacks of opportunity, which is really good if you want to move your party around.
I was gonna say when I first ever read this ability, when I first glanced at this subclass.
Before you say that, I'm just going to say number of temporary hit points increases when you reach certain levels in this class, increasing to 8 at 11 and 14 at 15. Blah, blah, blah.
So whenever I originally read this subclass, like
Mm-hmm.
before princes and whatnot,
Yep.
I thought this ability was only okay. This
But
ability alone, honestly, shoots it pretty high because being able to give your allies an option to use their reaction to move and moving opportunity attacks, that helped out tremendously every time.
that's why I always say, and you can quote me on this, because I always say it, you really cannot judge a subclass or a class or anything or a race or anything in this game until you have either run for it, played with it.
And that is shame on me.
But yes,
This is already alone a very good feature.
we do get another one of your favorite things, and I'm gonna argue in favor of it after we read it. So, if you perform for at least a minute, you can attempt to inspire wonder in your audience by singing, reciting a poem, or dancing at the end of the performance. Choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet of you who watch and listen to all of it, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier. Each target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save or be charmed by you. While charmed in this way, the target idolizes you, it speaks glowingly to anyone who speaks to it, and it hinders anyone who opposes you, avoiding violence unless it was already inclined to fight on your behalf. This effect ends on a target after 1 hour. If it takes any damage, if you attack it, or if it witnesses you attacking or damaging any of its allies. If a target succeeds on its saving throw, the target has no hint that you tried to charm it. Once you use this feature, you can't do so until you finish a short or long rest.
Here's the
You
thing.
save the. Mm-hmm.
Normally, you're right. I would say these type of abilities I hate. This is the one exception.
I feel like it's only the one exception because you saw it used properly.
Well, not even just that it's used properly. I feel like let's take Battlemaster one for example. Let's say we wait for a minute, talk around. I don't know if you have to be by yourself or not. Let's say you're not.
I say, why not? Why don't we just talk in generals instead of bringing other subclasses into this? Because I feel like we're complicating things.
Well, okay. What I don't like about those type of abilities for those classes
Mm-hmm.
is that, well, and the Whispers, but I guess Whispers doesn't count for this specific criticism, is that I'm spending a minute trying to look for any information about a creature's stats when more than likely, like, I think Mastermind Rogue, when I played that,
You
every
immediately
time.
failed the assignment, Ross.
Well, can I name that one because I actually played that one and I have experience
I
with the
guess
issue?
you can, but I feel like the more we're putting things about other subclasses, the less point there are in the few rest of the series.
Well, still, there you learn information about other creatures compared to your own,
Mm-hmm.
and more than likely, you're not gonna be able to ever use that effect.
See, I feel
Because
like
normally, a lot of times enemies will attack you on the spot if they want to.
I mean, honestly, that's not true. Not really.
I've tried using abilities like this before, and I've never been able to get anything valuable out of it.
It really depends on when you're trying to use it. That being said, I will state I do think the one you're talking about is pretty bad, but
We'll get to that video at some
eventually.
point.
But it's 6th level, folks.
Yeah, 6th level. Already for level 1, pretty good.
I mean, level 1.
Really good.
Uh, this one is kind of insane. Uh, you can cloak yourself using in the Fey magic that makes others want to serve you. You can cast command as a bonus action without expending spell slots, and you get Unearthly Beauty. Uh, for 1 minute or until your concentration ends of your course on a spell. During this time, you can cast command as a bonus action on each of your turns without expending a spell slot. Any creature trying by you automatically fails its saving throw. So if you use this and the last one together, it is pretty good. But what if it was that ability was even better? First off, you permanently look amazing now, and as a bonus action, you can assume a magically majestic appearance for 1 minute until you're incapacitated for the duration. Whenever any creature tries to attack you for the first time on a turn, it make it. You basically have Sanctuary.
Yeah, basically, except for a charisma save, which not as many enemies are great at charisma saves.
On a successful save, it can attack you on the turn, but has disadvantage on any saving throws it makes against your spells.
That
So
last sentence is just outright crazy.
I think I'm willing to put this with S, right?
Yeah, and here's something that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
With how I know this is 2014, but I want to talk about this because this is still crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
They buffed Mantle of Majesty in 2024.
Let's talk about that on another video.
Yeah, no.
I will say, what is interesting to me is that it seems to me that our bards kind of equaled out with our barbs.
That is actually funny. I didn't even know that until now. How do we want to? Because we had to do the same thing we did last time with deciding the top 3. I know we said Eloquence is number 1, which I am full line in agreement with.
I have it as Eloquence, Glamour, and Spirits.
I think that's fine. I think that's fair because I think the issue with the Spirits, and which makes it the lowest S, is the table is random. You don't know what it's all guaranteed buffs for the most part.
But you don't know which one you're getting, so you can't really plan around it.
Right. And I think Eloquence and Glamour, I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to argue that they're the best bards.
Thank you for watching.
And as always, stay tuned for more. Bye-bye.